What secrets have shaped history, hidden from the world's eyes?
History often remembers the visible, the triumphs, the battles, the monuments. But hidden beneath the surface, a different story has always lingered, one written in shadows and whispers. Across centuries, societies arose not for fame or fortune, but for secrecy. From medieval monasteries to forgotten chambers beneath ancient cities, knowledge was guarded as a treasure, and only a select few were allowed to wield it. Consider the Knights Templar, shrouded in myth and mystery. While legend paints them as valiant warriors, the reality was far more complex. Beyond the battlefield, they built a network of banking, communication, and intelligence, quietly influencing kings and popes alike. Their codes, symbols, and secret rituals were not mere theatrics. They were a shield, a method to protect information from those who might misuse it. And then came the Freemasons. Originating from stonemasons' guilds, these lodges evolved into hubs of philosophical, scientific, and political discourse. Membership was selective, not for wealth alone, but for trust, intellect, and alignment with the lodge's moral philosophy. Symbols, handshakes, and coded texts allowed members to recognize allies across continents, connecting minds in ways history rarely acknowledges. By the 17th century, the world was shifting. Monarchies faced rebellion, nations explored new continents, and knowledge became a weapon. Secret societies thrived in this environment, quietly shaping the world, influencing decisions, and molding the currents of power without ever stepping into the light of public scrutiny. To this day, much of their work remains unrecorded, lost in the silent echoes of forgotten chambers. In peeling back the layers, we find a simple truth. Secrecy was not merely for hiding, it was a tool for survival, strategy, and influence. And this was only the beginning. As centuries turned, these orders would evolve, some vanishing, others transforming into networks that touch our world even today.
Behind every legend lies a truth few dare to uncover. Consider the Illuminati, founded in Bavaria in the late 18th century. Their stated aim was enlightenment, challenging ignorance, superstition, and tyranny. Yet their methods, meetings, and initiation rituals ensured that only the committed could advance, creating a pyramid of knowledge and influence invisible to the outside world. Rumors of conspiracy spread quickly, but few understood the tangible impact they wielded on politics, law, and even revolutions. Across Europe, aristocrats and bankers sought membership not for ideology alone, but for access. A handshake in the right lodge could open doors that would remain closed to ordinary citizens for generations. And where influence was denied, fear became the tool of control. Rumors, coded warnings, and the careful concealment of information ensured that dissenters often disappeared into obscurity, their fates unknown. By the early 19th century, these networks had established themselves as hidden architects of global affairs. Wars, treaties, and the rise and fall of leaders often bore the fingerprints of these silent operators. And yet, to the public eye, the story remained untold, a world of invisible hands guiding the course of history, leaving behind only hints and whispers for those daring enough to investigate. This delicate balance between secrecy, power, and fear shaped not just nations, but the very fabric of society, embedding hidden codes of influence that persisted long after the societies themselves faded into legend. From knights to secret societies, the real story is darker than fiction. Every secret society relies on language, not words alone, but symbols, gestures, and rituals that convey meaning to the initiated.
From the arcane sigils of the Templars to the geometric designs of Freemasonry, every mark held purpose. They were not mere decoration, they were the keys to comprehension, recognition, and authority. Consider the triangular eye of the Illuminati, now iconic and feared in modern conspiracy lore. To the members, it was not a tool of domination, but a reminder of vigilance, knowledge, and unity. Letters, ciphers, and cryptic texts allowed communication across continents without attracting the notice of outsiders. A simple symbol etched in stone or carved into parchment could convey strategy, allegiance, and even warnings, a language invisible to the untrained eye. These codes were essential, for secrecy alone was not enough. Knowledge, if misused, could destroy the very network it protected. Hence, rituals of initiation, repeated gestures, and layered hierarchies ensured that information flowed only to those proven worthy. And while these practices might seem obscure or theatrical, they created cohesion and trust, sustaining societies through centuries of turmoil, war, and political upheaval. By understanding these symbols, one gains not just historical insight, but a glimpse into the operational genius of secrecy, a method by which ordinary humans orchestrated influence on an extraordinary scale. The hidden narrative is written not in public speeches, but in shadows, etched on walls, and whispered in hallowed chambers.
They influenced kings, wars, and empires, yet remained invisible. By the 20th century, the world had changed. Industrialization, mass communication, and political revolutions reshaped society. Yet the influence of secret societies persisted. Their methods evolved, their presence became more abstract, but the principles remained the same. Knowledge is power, and secrecy is protection. Consider the surviving orders that adapted to new political realities, working behind the scenes to shape policy, finance, and culture. Their impact, subtle yet profound, is visible in unexpected corners, banking systems, political alliances, and even scientific endeavors that flourished under the guidance of hidden patrons. And while modern society often mocks the idea of secret orders, their legacy endures. Every ritual, symbol, and whispered counsel contributed to a world where information, influence, and loyalty intersected in ways the public rarely comprehended. They remind us that history is never fully known, that what we see is but a fraction of a far larger story. In uncovering these hidden chapters, we come to understand a universal truth. The past is layered, complex, and often darker than we imagine. And the most powerful forces may not always reside in the halls of governments, but in the silent chambers of those who choose to operate unseen. This journey through secrecy, power, and legacy is more than historical curiosity. It is a reminder that the world we know today was shaped not just by open deeds, but by